My emotions when I see the orphans for the first time, when we go back, is a multifaceted thing. Because it was so depressing the first few times I went. And now there's so much joy and so much hope and so much love between us and them that it's just changed everything.
The Good Samaritan Children's Home is a relatively new partnership. Most of the kids we serve there were evacuated in February of 2022 from Mariupol, Ukraine. There's a total of 26 children, but what's unique, there's 19 orphans and then 7 of the workers' children because the workers were evacuated also. My understanding is that the workers had to make a decision within 24 hours whether to stay behind with their families or leave with the children. So you have to remember that we're ministering as much to the workers running the orphanage as we are to the children. I've gotten really close with some of the workers, but Olga, the director of the orphanage, shortly after she left Ukraine, her mom tried to join her and died on the journey, and she had to travel back and bury her mom in a city she had never visited in Ukraine. First time I arrived, it was going full circle because it brought back so many memories of our work in Ukraine. My first reaction was how well cared for they were. There was a church in Germany that provided the living for these children. The German government has been wonderful. These kids have gotten acclimated into the school system. They're learning German. They're doing very, very well.
Ping pong.
We're supplementing clothing, food, helping pay for private tutors. With the children in Good Samaritan Children's Home, with there only being 26, you get to know every one of them by name. The one that I've been drawn to the last couple of years is a young man named Danik. He has been learning the language. He is excelling in school. He is learning a trade to become an electrician right now. When he comes home from work, the younger kids just flock to him. He'll get on the floor, he'll play with them. When I saw pictures of him getting baptized recently, every single one of these younger kids were there watching. It was just a proud moment to see.
First arriving at the orphanage, it's almost like coming home for Christmas when you've been away for a long time.
Welcome, welcome our visitors. Happy to see you. Happy to see you.
Peter's Orphanage, Good Samaritan, serves up until children get out of high school.
The local community knows that if there is an at-risk child, their first place to go is to Peter. And the police will come knocking on the door, maybe with a newborn, still with the umbilical cord attached, maybe just left on the side of the road. They bring those children to Peter. The monthly and quarterly money that Hopeful Hearts sends because of our wonderful donors is life-sustaining for them. Provides food, shelter, clothing. They normally don't get protein during the course of the week, but because of the wonderful gifts, we can provide an egg 3 times a week so that those children get protein in their diet. There were high school students that wanted to play soccer. And one of the gifts that we gave them was buying tennis shoes so that these high school students could participate playing soccer.
Government does decide who can go to a college or a technical or vocational school. They don't really have an option, but Hopeful Hearts gives them that hope and tries to walk with them through some of that.
In Kenya specifically, there are not a lot of jobs. And you see so many young entrepreneurs, they may try to buy a bicycle, a motorcycle, and they carry stuff and carry people back and forth. One of the gentlemen that actually set up the computers there for us was an alumni of Good Samaritan, and they had helped him start a computer business.
Jeconiah has a very special place in my heart. I met him on our first trip to Kenya, and he was in a hospital because he cannot use his hands, his legs, or his feet. And yet he would draw. You put a pencil in his mouth, and he could draw beautifully, better than what I could do using my hands. Peter was able to find a school for Jeconiah for disadvantaged children. He has become very outgoing, and he joined the choir. He has a beautiful voice, and the choir that he was in came in second in the national competition, and he was just beaming with that.
You say, I don't have favorites, but yes you do. You know, that one that just loves you. Every day when we got ready to leave the orphanage, Evelyn would walk up on that porch and she would lean over and she would smile at me. And every day I would say to her, I'll see you tomorrow. Well, the last day came and I couldn't say that, but I did say to her, I'll see you again.
The Bethany Girls Home in India has long been a partner of Hopeful Hearts. Just this fall, we've been asked to sponsor 4 of these young girls who would like to further their education and become a nurse, which in India is an excellent job choice for a girl. We sent Christmas money this year, and each of the girls got a new dress for Christmas. Haiti. We can't go back to Haiti. We've got children that are living up in the mountains of Haiti. They've had to leave their home in Port-au-Prince to get away from the gangs and to be safe. We first visited Myanmar in 2010. There has been a lot done there in that length of time. But my heart is heavy now that because of all this civil unrest and there's civil war and the military coup and the persecution of Christians, that we have not been able to travel. But even though we've not been there, God's work has gone on, and we have been able to continue to fund projects and get money to them. We have continued to feed the children. We have enlarged the houses. We have done an addition onto the community center this year. We are going to be able to go back someday. I just firmly believe that, and my prayer is that it will be sooner rather than later. I was the first person to go to Sri Lanka, so I saw them first. I saw them when they lived in a rented house with black mold on the wall. I saw them when the girls were all crammed into one floor of the girls' home. And now, after 10 or 11 years of Hopeful Hearts, I see the orphans. It's a totally different emotion. It's a joy. It's a reunion.
Hopeful Hearts provides a lot for these kiddos. They provide food, shelter, education, clothing, medical, dental, basic needs.
A trip to Sri Lanka is relationship building. It is an encouragement to both the children and to the partners. We like to stand next to those ladies and put our arms around them and say, what you're doing is valuable. We see you. We are standing behind you. We've got your back.
One thing that Hopeful Hearts does, we go over there and spoil them, let them be kids, let the weight of the world fall off their shoulders for just a few days while we're there.
It's just a love fest, really. They look so forward to us being there, and they do these performances for us. The Alpha School does a whole day of special things. Like last year, they did food from around the world. This year it was Jurassic Park. It was on dinosaurs. We have 110 or 11 children that are going to school every day, getting a good education. Just this year, it's been recognized by the state and it's been accredited. So our school now is a true life-saving English education for these children out of the slums that would have had no hope of being exposed to something like that. They're just extremely happy, well-adjusted children on their way to breaking the cycle of the poverty and the life that they came from. We don't have a favorite, but there is always one special child. Her name is Janity. Janity was born with a congenital heart defect, and it caused her growth to stunt. And she's always been kind of a loner. This year, we went to the water park, and all the kids had gone running off into every different direction, and I looked over and there sat Janity on the side of the pool by herself. And I went over and sat down next to her and we talked for a minute, and I said, "Have you been on the water slides?" And she said no. And I said, "Would you like to go? And I'll be your partner." We did ride 2 or 3 of the water slides together, and then she was done. But when we got ready to leave 2 or 3 nights later, when we were saying goodbye to everybody, she stood back to the back. And when everybody got through hugging and kissing, she came over and she gave me a hug, and she slipped this envelope in my hand. And it was a letter that she wrote me. And she thanked me for seeing her and for loving her. And she said, "I know you love me, and I love you too." She said, "I can't tell you what you have meant to me." And I thought, that's what it's all about. It made all the trips worth it to get that letter. The main purpose of Hopeful Hearts is to take these children to heaven with us. And you know, one of these days, we're going to be there, and it's all going to have been worth it. And we're going to walk on streets of gold with the King of Kings, and these kids are going to be there with us. And it's going to be thanks to everybody that has ever done anything to help Hopeful Hearts. The clothing, the food, the medicine, that's great. But don't ever lose sight of the end and making it worth it.